Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 338. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rutino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
Salutations, my friend. Salutations.
Salutations. What's with the formal greeting? Wow. I feel so good.
Okay.
I feel so good. What's up?
Well, listen.
I feel like something's up.
I'm taking it old school. So I'm going old school. So not a lot of people know this, but once upon a time, far in the past.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm setting in for a Disney cartoon right now. Let's go.
We far in the past. Me and Dave were a part of the Grindhard Network.
Oh my God, Grindhard, baby! Yeah, okay,
See,
yeah.
And
it's a throwback.
I know you were involved in like the website part. And I was sort of like the producer of the show. I wasn't on the show technically, but I was like the producer of the show behind the scenes. But me and the main guy on the show, Sincere, we would always say salutations to each other. He would always say salutations, king or emperor. As we refer to ourselves as people in power, because you want to project power, because that's what you want to have eventually. Right?
Yeah. Got to manifest your own destiny. I get it.
Yeah. So so I just felt like saying salutations, my friend.
Throwback.
Taking it old school.
Wow, I feel so good right now. I forgot about Grindhard. Yeah, that was a whole damn thing. It was a good time. It was a good time doing that.
Yeah. Well, if you want to take it even further back, I do want to say a quick happy birthday to text messaging. Because the day that we're recording this show, it was December 2nd.
Okay.
1992, the first text message was sent.
1992, huh?
It was Merry Christmas. It was Merry Christmas, the first text message. From the inventor, the guy who invented text messaging. It didn't get popular until 10 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of weird. It's kind of weird. We take it for granted now, but like there was a time when, nobody texts, who's texting you, right? And then even when text messaging became popular, kind of, right? We weren't really texting because we had flip phones and like it was like 3 letters to a number.
Oh, you had to use the T9. Yeah, the T9, right? ABC. And you hit A 3 times to get C. And then special characters were like 4 or 5 presses. Oh, it was a whole thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
we've come a long way. Now we got like virtual keyboards.
We've come a long way.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Wow. Text message. I didn't realize it. It makes sense. Like people come up with these things or the protocols or the actual invention of a thing like so long ago, and then the practicality meets with the technology, right? If that makes sense. Like it's like
that makes sense.
We think about smart home automation stuff, right, as like this kind of new thing. It's been around since like the 70s, early 80s. Like, it was super clunky, and it was like, it was weird, and it was all like
Clap on, clap off.
Sure, yeah. Clapper was one of those. Clapper was a smart home thing, right?
Oh, I really wanted
sure.
a clapper so bad.
For sure.
I really wanted a clapper.
The clapper was great, man.
I was at a friend's house, and they had the clapper. The issue was, I remember, I don't know, I was kind of young because it's the 80s, right? So I was really, really young. I don't remember. It was something on TV. Maybe it was a football game. I'm going to say, I'm gonna say it was a sports game, and everybody was cheering. I don't know if it was a touchdown or a 3-pointer or a home run. I can't tell you what it was, but everybody started getting up and like, yeah, and they started clapping, and the lights kept going on, off and on.
Yeah, see,
like you get up, you're happy, you're like, yeah, and you're like clapping, yeah, right, and it kept going. The lights kept flickering. So.
Oh yeah. Those are things that still go on today. Like when you like hear commercials that are for the Amazon Echo or like the Google Home. I know when Amazon runs commercials, they mess with the audio in a way that doesn't trigger Alexa, which is normally the wake word, right? Alexa, do this, do that, whatever. It's cool because I got mine on mute right now, so it's just going out into the ether and nobody's hearing it. But when you watch people talk about it on YouTube or whatever, right, and they just don't realize that they're doing a comedy skit and they're talking about a thing, and you have those devices is firing off left and right. You're like, oh, good God.
Oh, I think the best to bring it back into video games. The best one was I think it was Call of Duty, right?
Yep.
And the kid shot him in the head, and he's just like, "Yeah, in your face, Xbox off," and then you could just. No.
Yep. That was back when the voice activation with Cortana was built into the Xbox One. It was very early on. Then they ripped it out. And then they replaced it with Alexa. So that was all.
Oh, they ripped my heart out. Come on.
What? You just have to get an Alexa. You have to get an Amazon Echo, and you're good to go. You can like hook it up.
Oh, I thought
painless.
It was cool.
It's just as cool.
Back when I was dating, I would bring a hot date, and they'd be like, "Yeah, Xbox on."
Yeah,
and everything would turn on.
Yeah, you could just say, "Alexa, turn on Xbox." It's the same thing. You just have to pay like $20 for a little puck, and you're good to go.
No, I
painless.
thought you were gonna say the service.
Oh no! You just have to get the one. You have to get the one thing, and that's it. And then you're good.
I don't know. I think it's badass. I think it was badass to say Xbox on.
Yes, it's nice.
After a few updates, you had to like scream Xbox on, Xbox. I said turn the fuck on.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the whole trouble and the beauty of home automation. Once you start getting into it, it's never ending, right? Because there's always updates, and you keep tinkering with stuff, and you find all these cool things you can do. Oh my God, it's too much.
Yeah,
too much.
Yeah,
but anyway,
like, Xbox, I'm gonna throw you out the window if you don't turn the fuck on. Xbox on. So, no, but now I just like, I feel like I think I'm not gonna say it because she may be off. She may be mute at your house. She's not mute over here.
No, all right.
I would say, we're gonna say Alex. I would say Alex.
Oh, so you have one? Okay, you can just hook it up to Xbox.
I do have one.
Oh, so hook it up to Xbox. You can get all that functionality back, and then
some. I
some.
bought it during Amazon week during the summer.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, finally.
She definitely tells me the weather, and she's my new alarm. I remember I told you I need to get a new alarm clock.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, no. I'm just saying, I feel like I'm in mind. I'm like, Alex, what's the weather? I'm not even saying it loud, and she can hear me, and she's just like, yeah, just like 20 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, no, I do that all the time. It's great. I do that right as I'm getting my clothes together, because it's like, is it t-shirt and a hoodie weather, or is it like, long sleeve and a button up and whatever else kind of weather? Right? You got to make those decisions that you need to know what the weather's like. So that's important.
But I got a real quick gift story before we get into the show.
All right.
So my coworkers, or I'm their client. I'm more of their client. We're colleagues, but I'm their client. To be honest.
Yeah.
I give them the business.
Okay.
And every year, you always say I'm spoiled. Every year they say, "Hey, damn, we have a budget. what do you want for Christmas? You know, because I'm the client relations, and I always
Mm-hmm.
give me, I don't want a new laptop, I don't want a new TV. Give me some old school, retro, expensive video games.
Now, hold on, because I know this because we've been friends for so long. I know what the deal is, and I know they used to get you nice bottles of whiskey and like
They would give me
liquor and all
expensive,
that.
it was really expensive though. It'd be like a $900 bottle of whiskey.
Right. And let's just set the stage here, right? Because typically, even when you're dealing with family, even when you're adults, you're like less than $100 on stuff, unless it's something special, like typically, right? It's usually how most families work. If it's kids, it's even less, right? If kids are giving gifts to kids. Dan works in real estate law, right? Is that fair to say? Is that accurate?
Commercial real estate, yeah.
Okay, commercial real estate, and
On
there's
the
a
legal
lot
side.
of work that needs to be done ancillary to what you do, or I guess things that your company doesn't do, and you have people that you call on to say, hey, can you look over these documents or do this thing? So you're giving other people business that are like in your circle,
it's
right?
It's stuff that I can do and I have done, but
Okay.
I'm too busy to do because you have
Right.
to actually physically go there.
Right.
Right. So I mean, in a nutshell, I set the deals up and they go and they close it for me. So they
Right.
are my closer, right? And I
Right.
get a closing fee.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you're giving them business. They're getting money off this. You could give it to anybody, but you're giving it to like these guys because you guys are close like that or whatever. So that's where like the gifts come in, right? So like, okay, you gave me all this business. I'm gonna get you something nice. All right, so that's how that comes about. I just wanted to clarify that because I've never gotten a gift that nice. Like even from my parents, like it was maybe like a new computer. That was like about it. That was about the highest they got me, which is
So-
which I'm happy about. Don't get me wrong, but sorry, go ahead.
So, but it kind of goes both ways right
Mm-hmm.
now because one of them, he's my main guy. He's like one of my main closers. His son just had his bar mitzvah. Right.
Hey, L'chaim.
Right. And he just bought him a PS5 because he's been like going crazy for a PS5. So he just bought him a PS5.
There you go.
So, this is my realm. This is what I do. Right. This is what I know. I know games. So I said, well, I got to hook him up. So I bought the kid the charger for the DualSense. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the kid because the PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4 games, 98%. I bought the kid the special edition Avengers set that I bought myself. That you can hear about it on the next episode of Saturday Morning Retro. We'll talk about the pickups.
Mm-hmm.
I got him the PS4 version, so he'll have the statue, he'll have all that stuff. I mean, listen, it was on sale for half off. I couldn't help myself. And my friend I'm his client, Mike the closer. He loves Mortal Kombat. So now, when the sales come on, because he's not going to listen to the show, so he doesn't know this is coming, I'm going to get him Mortal Kombat 11 in the extra dual sets.
Nice. All right, that's good stuff.
Or he can play Mortal Kombat with his kid, even though his kid doesn't care about Mortal Kombat, but he's going to love God of War. Well, I mean, he's 13?
Yeah. That's the right age.
He loves God of War. And apparently, he loves the Avengers. Godzilla is his thing, but there's nothing relevant with Godzilla that I could buy him. So,
there's a 2014 game that's apparently pretty good for the PS4, but
yeah, but I have to look at the list of the games that don't work that are compatible. It was like 10 of them, and that would be the 10. That would be one of the 10 games that didn't work.
It could be on the list.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a PS4. Like that was the thing. He had a Switch this whole time. And then before the Switch, he was just too young to have a console. He was like 5.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. So now he's 13. So this is his first like real console. Not to say that the Switch isn't a real console, but like one of the heavy hitters. Right. So he's excited. His friends are excited, and I wanted to join in the excitement because that's what I do. That's what I know.
There you go.
All my other closers, the kids are like their kids are like babies. So nothing I can do yet. There's nothing I can do.
You buy him a little Kratos beanie,
Yeah, I don't think they will remember that.
No, probably not.
All right, so let's get this show on the road. Dave, we have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk all about that new trailer the Super Mario Brothers trailer, right? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you see it? Because we haven't talked about it, so I don't know. I don't know. And then we're also going to talk about a strange occurrence. Somebody found something interesting in their Xbox Series X, which is hard to find right now, by the way. It's the PlayStation 5 is now available in stores, but the Xbox Series X, yeah, good luck.
Wow.
Good luck with that. But before we get into any of that, let's begin the show on a sad note. I hate this. This is sad. This hits my childhood right here. All right, it hits me a little bit more than you because I'm a little bit younger, and I was into it. Rest in peace to Jason David Frank, aka Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger / White Ranger / Dino Black Ranger / Red Turbo Ranger.
Damn,
and the red Zeo
iterations.
and the red Zeo Ranger. How can I forget the red?
Damn,
Zeo Ranger.
you must have been like 50 by the time the end of that show run, right?
Well, he passed away a couple of week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was 49. He was almost 50.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, I hit it on the head. Yeah.
My condolences to his family. I think he had 4 kids, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And
damn.
This hits hard. I mean, this hits hard. I mean,
you were big. You were big.
I'm a big Power Ranger fan. A big Power Ranger fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brian, my friend Brian, we talk about big fighting game fan. He told me, we were talking, and he told me, and I was like, that's a joke. That's a joke. No, he's not. No, he's okay. He's okay.
50's,
They're doing
50's really young, you know, all things considered.
It is.
I don't know.
I
don't know how he went. I don't know how he was living his life at that point, but even still, 50's pretty young.
I don't want to talk about how he went.
Sure.
You can find that out on the internet, but
Sure.
I just, because it's nothing we could do, but I will say if you are suffering from depression or if you have any type of mental issue, you definitely need to talk to someone. You are never alone.
That's right.
I know, sometimes you feel down, right? I'm not going to say I was ever depressed by any means, but I've definitely felt down, and I feel lucky that I've had friends I can call and talk to, and they don't even know that I'm feeling down, but they sort of give me a new perspective on things. So, but definitely rest in peace, the Power Rangers I think are ending, and they were supposed to do a big reunion with some of the old Power, the original Power Ranger cast. But now I don't know if they're still doing that. I hope they do. I don't know if they filmed it yet or anything, but I know we're not going to have Trini because she passed away in a car accident in the late 90s.
Oh, shit. She was the Yellow Ranger, right?
She was the Yellow Ranger.
Damn.
We're not going to have Zordon. He passed away in the early 2000s, the original Zordon.
Right.
I know I think the original Rita passed away as well because there was a different Rita.
Also.
Yeah, there was a different Rita later on.
Huh.
And now Jason is, it's weird to call him Jason because
the Red Ranger.
his name was Jason, but Tommy. This is weird that Tommy won't be there. The Green Ranger. So he will be sorely missed. Rest in peace. All right. Let's get into video games. Since we didn't have a show last week for, family emergencies. I didn't get a chance to talk about the notable games coming out next month. So let's switch it up a little bit and tweak it a little bit and talk about the notable games coming out this month. December's usually historically slow, but not in the last, I want to say 3 to 4 years, maybe, right? Like starting when Smash Brothers came out.
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Ultimate came out in December.
Yep. That was very notable because it didn't make the Game Awards because it came out, I think, on the 6th. And the Game Awards was like 2 days later and didn't make the cutoff to be in the Game Awards for that year, which is like from December to December. It's not from January to January. So it makes it very difficult, right? Everybody wants to get their games out, even just in general, to get good holiday sales. You want your game to come out between October and November, I think is really the time. Maybe like late September too, right? Because then you can start promoting the game. You can get the hype out. The kids can be like, Mom, I want Santa to get me this game. I want Santa to give me Call of Duty. Right?
At the latest, 10 days into November, right? And
yeah.
Want to get nominated for like the Game Awards Game of the Year.
Oh, sure.
And I think they made a special arrangement for God of War because it came out on the 11th. of November. So, but notable games coming out in December. Let's start with Marvel's Midnight Sun. It's coming out for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC December 2nd. Weird, it's not coming out for the Switch because it doesn't look like it's like a big graphical, intensive game.
Looks on par with the Avengers, I think.
I think they could have put this on the Switch, to be honest. That's just my feeling.
Well, there's always time for a port.
Well, it'll be ported later, right?
Oh yeah, no,
That's how
it'll be next year if they do it. But
yeah, it'll have a second life coming out on the Switch, right? A whole new launch for a new system. So, then we got Need for Speed Unbound coming out for PS5, Series X, PC, and that comes out December 2nd. Resident Evil Village Winter Expansion for the Switch. For Switch guys out there, that comes out December 2nd. And the Callisto Protocol coming out PS5, Xbox Series XS, PS4, Xbox One, PC coming out December 2nd.
Oh yeah,
Before you get into it, side note, just Need for Speed, Midnight, Marvel's Midnight Sun, all current gen. Callisto Protocol is the only game coming out December 2nd that's coming out for current gen and last gen.
That, out of all of those games, that's wildly surprising.
I know. I would think Marvel's Midnight Sun would
be cross compatible. Yeah, because Marvel's
last gen, this gen, and Switch.
Midnight Suns, is that produced by EA, or am I wrong?
I mean, it's not a game for me, so I didn't buy it. I didn't look into it. I did pick up Callisto Protocol and Need for Speed Unbound, which I'll talk about later when we get into the games that we're playing. But I didn't pick that up just because it's like a tactical game, so I don't know. I have not been following it. I thought I would buy it just to try it.
Okay,
it's one of those. I'll wait till it's on the discount.
It's a 2K published game. I would still think that Midnight Suns would come out previous gen. 2K is usually pretty good at previous gen, current gen. EA is all about previous gen and current gen because they just want to make all the money. So they make them cross compatible for as long as possible. But anyway.
All right. A game I'm looking forward to. I'm surprised it came out December 2nd since every other game came out December 2nd.
Yeah.
It's coming out December 13th. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Coming out for all, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, S1, Switch, and PC. No Stadia.
Well, do you have to say no Stadia? I thought that's
it's still alive.
Pretty much
it's still
dead.
Here. It's still here. It's not dead yet.
It's not. They're giving people refunds on all the games they buy, so it's dead in the water. Even though they're shutting it down in early next year. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking forward to this game. It's the Crisis Core game from the PSP that is still turn-based, right? They made it more action, just like a Final Fantasy VII Remake, right?
It's going to be same engine, same gameplay style with like gambling slots. There's a whole slot mechanic that's in the game, which is actually kind of cool. But I think you'll have a good time with it when it comes out.
I'll get that. I'm getting that on the PS5 because the same day High on Life is coming out exclusive to Xbox. Well, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, and PC console.
Yep.
And I was pretty good on High on Life. I was, JB Smoove he's in the game playing a gun. I know people were down sort of on the boss battle. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely picking it up.
This is the one from Justin Roiland. He is co-creator of Rick and Morty. Squanch Games is I guess his company or a company he's associated with. They've done a bunch of games. They've done the Rick and Morty VR game and a couple other games. And a first-person shooter with a ton of humor and JB Smoove as a talking gun. What's not to love?
What's not to love? Come on,
yeah,
people hating on this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Are they actually hating on this game?
Some people are hating on the game, talking about, the boss battle that they showed looked pretty simple. I mean, how complicated do you want something to be? Come on.
We'll see. It was just one clip from the game. Yeah, I don't know how much you can really get off that, but I just wanted to circle back on Callisto Protocol because I was watching or listening or reading or doing all these things, ingesting all this information, reading about the reviews on Callisto Protocol, and
It's all over the place.
it's not great on the Xbox. It's not great in the PC. I think the PlayStation version is the best
PC.
version.
The PC is where it's really bad. The Xbox, and I'll talk about it in games we've been playing. Xbox version is okay. It's so far, at least for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, I heard the PlayStation one is even better performance wise, and it, not that it pains me to say it, but it's just interesting. Like if you're gonna get it, you gotta get the PS5 version. It's crazy.
Not the most powerful console in the world, the PC.
It's fine. I mean, look, the PC version will get patched, and if for some odd reason it doesn't get patched, the fans can just mod it and patch the game. That's the beauty of PC. People always find a way.
They already did.
It's not.
I'm sure they already did.
It's not this closed walled garden like the Xbox and PlayStation are. Not to mention that. Oh yeah. Not to mention the game is very short. It's like an 8-hour game.
8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, 8 to 10 hours, and it's apparently not what people thought. It's a lot less survival horror. And
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
I'll have my thoughts. I have my thoughts on the game.
Okay.
Don't want to give too much away, but it's not what people thought, and that's a good thing in my view.
Oh well.
In my view.
All right. We'll get into it later.
We'll get into it. But all right. So moving on from games coming out, because that's it. Notable games coming out in December. There are a lot of other indie style games coming out. But the big heavy hitters are coming out in January. So we'll talk about that next month. But I do want to say, we talked about on last show that James Gunn is officially in as he's going to be the Kevin Feige of DC or the DCU, right? And he was asked about does he want to incorporate video games as part of like his plan for DC, and he said absolutely.
Yeah,
so
why would you not?
Will be a big part of sort of his master plan, just like video games are a part of Disney, Kevin Feige, and Marvel's plan, which is great. And so far they did a great job. Again, Marvel's Midnight Sun has really good reviews. I'm gonna say great, but really good reviews. People seem to like it if you love that style of game. And I would love to see them do some different things with DC properties. Right?
Well,
I kind of want Aquaman, right? It's right there. You can do Aquaman game, a better one than the last one that we got.
The last Aquaman game was way back on the original Xbox.
Xbox and PS2. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it's just. Do you really want a game that's all underwater?
You could. I mean, now we could do something like that. Yeah, we could do something.
I know. I'm not really high on Aquaman per se. Like, I think we need more DC. We need more DC games for sure. We haven't had a good DC game since the last Batman game. So
people said that you can't do a good Batman game, and then like, do you really want another Batman game?
Who said you can't do it? The
prior
Batman...
to Arkham? Prior to Arkham, everybody said, "Oh, you can't really do a good Batman game."
Get out of here! The Sunsoft Batman game for the original NES, based off the movie, great. Batman Return of the Joker, great. Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, and the Sega CD, they were great. Batman and Robin on the Super Nintendo and Genesis,
they were not great.
They were great.
They were not great.
What are you? You're smoking crack. I'm sorry.
Batman Returns.
Yes.
Batman Returns, not great.
It was a great beat 'em up.
It was a good beat 'em up.
Okay, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like Aquaman for the Xbox.
It got progressively worse. We went from a great Batman games at NES to good Batman games on the...
You said there were none prior to the Arkham series. I disagree.
Listen, if you watch all the old school video game shows, right, with the Electric Playground and G4, everybody's just shitting on Batman. There's like, oh, Batman games suck because the Batman games of the time, anything after the Super Nintendo, they all pretty much sucked. They weren't great at all. There was some early,
there was some There was some late 16-bit and some early PlayStation 1 games, but all of those early 3D games were terrible. It wasn't just Batman. I mean, that was just the sign of the times. Superman game was terrible. Bubsy was terrible. Earthworm Jim was terrible. All the games had bad. Even the good games had bad camera controls. Even what good game? Go look at Legacy of Kain, right? That was like a great game. Had terrible camera controls. Super Mario 64. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Had bad camera controls. All right, looking at it, it was just that's just how it was for the time. So to say that the Batman games were bad in the early days of 3D is like, yeah, no duh. But I would say by the time you got to like PS2, they got considerably better.
The Arkham series was on the 360 era, right?
That's
so let's
right.
Say between.
That's right.
So let's say between. All right, so we're gonna say between Super Nintendo and the 360 era, the Batman games were pretty bad. They weren't great. They weren't.
Well, okay. No. You said games prior to the Arkham series, and I gave you all the 18 and 16-bit games.
We're not gonna go all the way back to the Atari.
Well,
it's a figure of speech.
Well,
Obviously,
you can't. No.
Few games.
You can't just say. You have to say the PlayStation 1 era. The PlayStation 1 and maybe the PlayStation 2 era, all right, didn't have great Batman games.
Well, why do you gotta put the PS5? Why you gotta put the PlayStation in it? Why you gotta say Sony? You couldn't say the Xbox era. You couldn't say the N64 era. They all sucked. I'm saying it. You know what?
There wasn't any Batman. I don't think there was any Batman games for the N64. So
there was Batman Beyond. It sucked. I bought it.
Okay, there was one game.
I'm sure if I looked, there were probably another Batman game. They all sucked because Batman sucked for
for like one or two generations. But you made it sound like all games prior to that were terrible. And,
the original, the NES Batman games were, the first one was good. The first one was great.
They were all great. Return of the Joker was great. Yeah. Animated series was great. Batman Returns
was good. It was good. It was good. Animated series was a good.
It was amazing. I'm sorry. That's 10 out of 10 that game.
No way.
10 out of 10.
No. What? Okay, now we see.
Yeah, do you know the level of graphical detail in that game?
System? Wait. What system? The NES or the Genesis? Which one? Which game?
Well, no. The animated series was Super Nintendo and Genesis, and they were both great.
Yeah. They were both not great.
Yes.
You give them a 10, they get a 7.
They were difficult, and that's about the only knock I'll give against it. They were difficult.
Maybe a 7.5.
7? You need to go back and play that game, Dan. All right, put it on the list for Saturday morning retro.
And then he said the Sega CD.
The Sega CD version of.
Game. It was just a car racing game.
No, it wasn't just. No. The car racing scenes were the bonus that was on the Sega CD version. You still had the side-scrolling beat-em-up stuff, I think, if I remember correctly.
It was only the car version. It was only the car version.
Okay.
It was only the car version.
That was still fun, though. That was still fun. It was not bad by any means.
It was mediocre.
It was not Batman Forever levels of bad. All right.
Oh, Batman Forever on the Saturn? Yeah, that was
Batman Forever on any console was terrible. I mean,
that was
that was just
that was okay. We can agree on that. We'll end.
Okay.
We'll end.
All right.
Well, speaking of DC, did you see? Did you see any of the movie trailers? The new movie trailers. They all came out at the same time. We got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I don't know if I like that name, but I like the trailer.
Not great. Yeah, trailer was cool. I was about the trailer.
Was cool.
They
Guardians
brought
of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
So those I haven't seen. I have seen the Indiana Jones one. The Indiana Jones one was great. They brought back Sala, which I thought was cool. There was no mention of what's his name, his son from the fourth one.
I think he will.
Shia LaBeouf?
I'm not going to say he's
Shia
in
LaBeouf?
the movie. No, I'm not going to say he's in the movie.
Okay.
But I think they will make reference to him.
And I will be completely honest, transparent, and fair. The ending of part 4 was terrible, right? But I thought most of it was pretty good. I did not mind Shia LaBeouf. I don't think he was a problem in that movie. I liked how they tied it all in together, that the love interest from the first one ended up being the mother of Indy's son, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, I thought that was kind of neat how they put that all together. Just kind of the mythos and the end of the movie, it all kind of fell apart. But I think you're right. They probably won't have him in this. It'll probably just be a mention. There's some new young whippersnapper with blonde hair. I forget what character he is, but it looks like Indy's in New York for a little bit, right? 1930s, early 40s New York, which I think is kind of cool. And I don't know. He goes on a journey to find this dial of destiny. So I'm in. I'm in.
Watch, we say that, and then like Shia LaBeouf's gonna be in at the end, cameo. Dad,
It's fine by me. Yeah.
Dad. I didn't think 4 was terrible.
Right.
I thought 4 was so-so. I thought it was so-so. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't trash on the Dave scale. It was on the low end on the Dave scale.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I know. All right. So you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I haven't seen the Guardians 3 yet. No, not the trailer. But I'm sure it's amazing.
It's it's super cool. It's super cool. I mean, look, I'm not spoiling the movie by any means. It's a trailer. I just love they touch down in a town, and it looks like a regular suburban town in America, but then obviously aliens, like these alien people, come out, and this kid throws a ball at Drax, and Quint, Star-Lord says, "Hey, we're Guardians. We're here to protect you." And Drax throws the ball so hard, he hits the kid in the head, and the kid falls, and everybody starts throwing rocks at them.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Also, beyond this trailer too, there is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which is
Kevin
also
Bacon.
with Kevin. Yeah, where they end up kidnapping Kevin Bacon. So that's a whole thing.
Kevin. Well, they said Kevin Bacon said when he was watching Guardians, the original Guardians, in the movie theater, and they mentioned his name. He's like, "What? They mentioned my name?" Like, he's like, "Oh man, I'm in the movie." Like, he didn't expect that. So he said his kids. I think he said his kids said, "Come on, you got to do this. You got to be in the next movie." But he's not in the movie, but he's in the special, which is great. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. They got the Beast Transformers, right? The big gorilla Optimus Prime. With the truck Optimus Prime too. So that looked pretty cool. I mean, I haven't been excited for a Transformers movie since maybe the second one. I think I tapped out after the second one. And I know there's been like 4 more in between.
The fourth one with Mark Wahlberg was pretty good, like Dark of the Moon or whatever. I think that was pretty good. And the Bumblebee movie was good. Bumblebee was great.
I haven't with John Cena. I didn't see it.
Oh, you do yourself a favor and go see Bumblebee. It is not the Michael Bay explosion-tastic experience that you would possibly expect to see. It's good.
Okay,
it's good.
But this, I was excited for this when I saw it because I like the Beast Transformers. Like, I like the cartoon. I thought
The Beast Wars.
Yeah, the Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Is that what it was called? I don't remember what it was called.
Beast Wars was the animated, with the CG one from the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
CG. I love that.
CG does not hold up. I mean,
for
anyone wondering. No,
it doesn't.
It was rough back then. It's definitely rough now.
All right, Dave. As we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
I think this possibly may top our this may top our time for the longest amount of time for us to get into this. I think so. We're at 37 minutes and 33 seconds, and I've been waiting for this all show. Not that, 37. Not that everything before was like bad by any means, but this is, as people know,
your favorite.
Or if you
segment.
don't know, it's my favorite segment, as Dan always likes to say. Well, a lot of things have been happening. It's been very busy around the Rotino household, right, with the holidays and some family stuff and whatever else. So haven't been able to play a lot of the stuff that I wanted to play. I did pick up a bunch of stuff over the Black Friday sale, so I have a big stack of games that I need to get into, and the only one I've been able to really get into is the Halo Infinite Forge mode.
Still, this man has not played God of War yet.
I have played God of War. I just haven't gotten further into God of War. You
played it for an hour.
I got to the bear fight. All right, I'll go back to it. I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
I promise by next week I'll have more to say about it. But
arrest this man now. Read him his rights.
Well, I just want to say regarding Forge, still building out my level. Got this underwater science facility or whatever that I'm building out, and there's just a lot of really cool stuff that you can do in there. I keep finding out new stuff. I'm learning how to do scripting now, and I'm trying to like enhance the thing, the whole level with like special effects and audio that trigger when you go into like certain areas, right? It'll like, put out steam, or when you jump in a pool, it'll splash water, and that's a little bit of a learning curve, right? Not that I'm not a programmer. Obviously, I program, but the way that they do it is very visual. So it's kind of like you're building a flowchart, kind of. It's like a very advanced flowchart, and like the way they do things is a little, I don't want to say unintuitive, but it's not necessarily the way that I would think. There's a lot more steps involved just to do like simple, environmental positional audio effects. Like when like Master Chief steps into this area, play this noise. There's like at least 7 or 8 different things that are involved with that. And then you got to untrigger it when he steps away from it. And that's a whole thing. So I've been doing that. And then, I've been playing a lot of last night was our Halo night, and I was playing Mario Kart in Halo. It was great.
Oh wow. Okay.
It was great. They made essentially Rainbow Road. They made a Space Invaders Rainbow Road, as to I guess not get copyright stricken or whatever, or taken down by Nintendo. But it's essentially Rainbow Road. Doesn't have any barriers. You're out in space and you're riding around. And they made the vehicles like super tiny, like to look like they were little like kart racers. Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing. It's so much fun, so much fun. And there's another mode that somebody had put out, or I guess it's more of just like a map. But they made a whole pirate themed map, and there's like 2 pirate ships, and there's like working cannons, and oh my god, it's super cool. There's just a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. Somebody made a Waffle House, Dan. Somebody recreated a Waffle House in Halo Infinite. It's bananas. It's bananas.
I'm just waiting for them to make a Mario game with Sonic on it.
Well, they already recreated the first world, or the opening area of, or I guess the home base of Mario 64. So that's done. Like, you can hop into Mario 64 and play Halo, which is bananas. You can even jump through the paintings and all that. Oh, it's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
So Sonic is not far away. Let me tell you. Like, you'll be able to like spin dash as Master Chief. Oh. So, what have you been playing, Dan? That's what I want to know.
I've been playing a lot. So I beat New Borderlands. I had that for the Xbox Series X. The story I thought was good. I don't think it was. I don't know. Okay, I thought the story was great, but I don't think it was as good as the first story. I still prefer the first. I still prefer the first story over this story. But this story, I don't think people give it enough credit. I thought it was wacky and fun, and I thought it was great. I enjoyed myself. I had a great time. I made the wrong decision at the end, apparently.
The wrong decision or a different decision?
I made the wrong decision according to my analytics. Only 27% of people picked the same decision I made for the end.
Well, you didn't get a game over though, right? You just got a different ending?
I did lose somebody in the process.
Oh. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
I did lose one of the main characters. Because there are 3 or 4 main characters, three main characters, and 4 main characters, and I lost one of them.
Damn, son, that's a quarter of your party. Ooh, that's tough.
It's tough. So I wanted to go back to see if I could choose a different path, but sure. I would have to do that whole section over again, and I don't want to, so I'm just gonna Google it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Pull up the YouTube clip, see how it goes.
So I beat that. I was playing a little bit of Evil West. I have that for the Series X too.
Oh yeah, I got to play that at PAX East this last March. It's good. I liked it.
It is complete 3. You talking about 360 generation? It's a 360 generation type of game.
I could see that. Yeah.
I was so ready for it, but after beating God of War and then beating New Borderlands, and in beating Bayonetta, I wasn't ready for Evil West. I wasn't ready to go sort of take a step back
Right.
in
Right.
gameplay. I
Uh-huh.
really I just it's like a silly story. The gameplay is definitely not up to par. It's definitely old school gameplay mechanics, and I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. So it's something I'm gonna have to keep on ice for a while, and then eventually once I get that God of War Bayonetta out of my system, then I can go to that and play it.
Mm-hmm.
So did that. I've been playing a little bit of TMNT Shredder's Revenge on the Switch because I have the physical version came in. I was playing it when Games
Uh-huh.
Pass, but I really wanted to wait until I got it on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
because it took forever for it to come out in Switch, this is the part I don't like about limited run in the companies like limited run. Okay, where they'll have the first hey you know, we have the game, you can pre-order it, and then you pre-order it, and then all of a sudden it's in Best Buy. I can buy it on Amazon. All right, it comes out other
Yeah.
places, and then other people have the physical that I want, and now I got to wait like 6 months for.
Oh, well, is that how that goes typically? Like, how do they get copies before everybody else gets copies?
So look, Stray, the indie game that's been nominated for Game of the Year for Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered it on I am 8-bit because when it first said, "Oh, it's a physical. Physical's finally out for Stray," so I am 8-bit. I ordered an I am 8-bit. Guess what? It's already in Best Buy. It's on Amazon. I can buy it. I could have had
Yeah.
it already. Now I'm just waiting for I am 8-bit to ship it to me.
It is. It is a little annoying that, yeah, because you're not sure if you're not sure if it's ever going to come out in the store because they don't necessarily say, hey, we're also going to put out the versions in Best Buy or GameStop or whatever. So, and you want to get the like some of those games are like really hard to get now, right? Some of those games they only do the one run and that's it, right? They don't do the
Yeah,
re-release or anything. So,
and then I have a slight gamer grief with the games I've been next two games I've been playing, and that is gamer grief with GameStop. Okay, this is a GameStop gamer grief again. I have Callisto Protocol Day One Edition for the Xbox Series X,
oh
and
yeah.
I have Need for Speed Unbound. I've played a little bit of both. I want to say less than an hour with both,
Mm-hmm.
and I went through hell trying to get this thing. I went to GameStop at my local mall, and they told me, "Did you pre-order it?" I said no, and they said, "Well, we only have pre-order copies in." And I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's like insane. You only have pre-order copies in? Like how many people actually pre-ordered from the
Well,
store?
I don't think it's that. I just think that they didn't order that many copies overall, and the ones they did get or were supposed to get got claimed by the pre-orders. Because it's not like it's like a God of War or like Red Dead, right? Where they're getting like maybe hundreds of copies on the day. They
I
may
know,
only
but
get a couple. So
well, he said they didn't have a lot. He
right.
said we only have a box.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much is in a box? Like 20? Like 20 people pre-ordered? Really? It was kind of well, okay. Even if I believe that, right? I got it at Best Buy, which is across the other side of the mall. Well,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't buy it in the store. I could only buy it online and pick it up, which was just complete asinine to me. Like that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I got another game. I already got a grief with Best Buy. I had to wait 45 minutes, and I'm like looking at the games on the shelf, and I got to wait 45 minutes because I couldn't buy the game in the store. I had to order it online. It was asinine. But that's a Best Buy thing. My point is, I don't think the digital future is coming. We're not getting a lot of prints of these physical games. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Mhm.
But uh, I will start. I did play a little bit of Need for Speed Unbound. Didn't play enough to really talk about it, but it looks cool and like it's
Okay.
like hip. The music, I love the tutorial racing. I thought was pretty cool. I'm in the story mode. I just need to learn how to drift because I keep crashing. I keep crashing, so I need to learn how to drift. Callisto Protocol, I think, is getting a bad rap because people thought and this goes back to what you were saying, that people are saying that this isn't the game they thought it was. People thought this was going to be like like the Evil Within, a straight survival horror game completely. That's it. And it's not. It's
Well, that's what the Dead Space, which is this is the spiritual successor to that. It's the devs from Dead Space making this new game like that. So it's fair to say it's fair to have that expectation. Even with the trailer made it look like, oh, this is going to be a new Dead Space. But
well, the game is a horror themed game, but it also has a lot of action elements. Like I'm not going to speak to sort of the bugs, especially like PC. PC definitely has a lot of issues that they need to patch.
the
The
performance
PlayStation,
is an issue, yeah, which is
yeah.
fixable, but it's worth noting.
So far, I got it for the Series X. So far, I have seen no real performance issues. To be honest, I haven't seen it. I haven't encountered it. I
Okay,
thought
well, all right.
I thought the walking is pretty slow. I thought that was an issue, but that's
Mm-hmm.
by design. The walking is really by design. I feel like like something's wrong with this guy's spine because he's the way he walks. But the game, I think, when they said, oh, they like GameSpot, and we were talking before we started recording. GameSpot gave it a 5, right? And one of the reasons it does have performance issues. Again, I'm not going to say it doesn't, but one of the main reasons, at least, that they didn't like the game is because it had too much action elements, and the action was a little bit more, a little repetitive, and not more survival horror for that reviewer's liking. And I think a 5 is an insult, to be honest. The game is a solid 7 so far for me. Like I don't think it's a 5. It's an enjoyable game. I think it's a really good game. I like it.
Well,
I hate spooky elements, but and the combat is simplistic, right? You just
Well, I would say if they went the other way with it and it was more survival horror without all the like close combat stuff, you'd probably lean more towards a 6 or a 5, though, right?
I would lean more
Okay,
to 6 or
okay.
5.
So, yeah, I can see where GameSpot is coming from. I can't see where the internet outrage is coming from. Now, I haven't read the review from GameSpot, but I would say that they back up their claim and they justify it and they lay out all the reasons. You may not agree with it, which is perfectly fine too, but you can't say that they're if they wrote a bad review and they didn't back up their claims, then you can go, okay, this is a shitty article. And that's all I'll say about that. I haven't played the game yet, I
Right.
haven't read the article, but
It's
yeah.
it's again, it is simplistic. The combat is simplistic,
Okay.
as you have to time when, because they're gonna, the monster's gonna like attack you, and you have to just turn your joystick left or right to move
Mm-hmm.
out of the way, and then you trigger the trigger buttons to hit it with the pipe that you have. So I the big complaint that I haven't reached this part, but I know it. I can see it being annoying, but who cares? It's a video game. Is in the stealth mission where you have to be quiet, and you get these monsters that only they can't see, they can only hear, and
Mm-hmm.
then you stealthily stab them in the neck and rip their head off. It's like, well, the other monsters can't hear that. They can't hear another monster dying, and that's right next to them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay,
so,
that's a little weird. Yeah, that's a little weird.
so so that I understand. So that I can understand. So, but I like the game so far, and I hate spooky games. So I've been sort of playing it with the volume off, and with a podcast on, and you're just playing it, going through killing monsters. Right now I still only have a pipe and a shiv. I don't have a gun, and I've just
Mm-hmm.
been killing all the monsters, melee wise. Now I will say the story needed a little bit more work. It could have been fleshed out a little bit better. The story is a little at least in the beginning when they don't really explain anything to you. Um, you don't know why you're a prisoner. I mean, to be honest, it's as simple as a plane crashed. You were the pilot. the warden now, says everybody thinks you're dead, so you're a prisoner, and whatever cargo you were carrying, I'm assuming turned everybody into monsters.
Huh.
And that's it.
Okay. Weird. All right. Maybe there's some story somewhere in there, but all right. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on this game, Dad. I'm gonna wait on this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till it goes down to $20 and then I'll play it. Which is sad.
You and this $20 thing, a lot of things don't go down that far. I mean, I could see this being like a.
It's not a Nintendo
$29.99.
Switch game. It's getting average reviews, and it's an 8-hour game. I think sometime next year it'll be down to $20, and then I'll go ahead and scoop it up. Not that and I'm upset. I really wanted to again, I haven't played it yet, but I wish it got better reviews. I wanted it to do really well. I loved the first Dead Space. It was amazing, and it's spiritual successor. It's some of the same devs, and it looked amazing. And then now they're like, it's like okay, they went a little different with it. So I don't know.
Right now, still a Metacritic score of like 77.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And it's
not
funny,
too bad.
Need for Speed has a better Metacritic score of 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of the last 2 weeks. And we're back. All right, Dave. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week. Not a lot of news that comes out around this time, right? Mm-hmm. We're on the heels of the Game Awards, where we're gonna get a lot of juicy stuff, or we hope we get a lot of juicy stuff with news and trailers and release dates, hopefully. But around this time, it's kind of quiet. So it's been a little quiet for the last 2 weeks. But something big did drop. We did get a Nintendo Direct that didn't show games, but we got another Super Mario Brothers movie trailer. Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest. I was hyped because I'll tell you why.
Why would you not be?
Well, I mean, people were a little bit down in the first trailer, right? Because we didn't hear a lot from Chris Pratt being Mario, right? And we didn't hear that much from Chris Pratt being Mario in the second trailer either, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I think Chris Pratt sounds fine as Mario. I'm going in with with open-minded. I'm not going to be closed-minded and and say, Mario needs to sound like this. No, I'm gonna try to enjoy the movie for what it is.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But we got to see Princess Peach. We got to hear her voice. Mm-hmm. We got to see Donkey Kong. We got to see Donkey Kong versus Mario, right? Like, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. And the thing that blew my mind, we got to see Rainbow Road. They brought Mario Kart into the movie.
Yep.
Mario Kart's in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're bringing everything into it. They're bringing all these different. Not to say they're not related. Mario Kart is in the Mario world. Donkey Kong and Mario. I mean, that's how Mario got to start. So they are related in a way. And it looks like I don't know how the Mario Kart tournament or whatever they're doing with Mario Kart factors into it and all that, but it looks like Donkey Kong has his own Kong land, right, based on the kind of brief map that we see. It's broken up into 6 different worlds. So there's Bowser's world, there's the ice world that Bowser is trying to take over, which we saw from the previous trailer, the desert land, the Donkey Island or whatever it is, the Mushroom Kingdom, right? Complete with Peach's Castle, it's got all the things you want. So
I still don't understand why Donkey Kong has a tie on, but okay, I never understood that.
That's his outfit, Dan. I mean, that's his outfit.
Does he feel naked when he doesn't have a tie around his neck?
Yeah, I think so. It complements his form and his figure. He likes wearing it. I don't know.
Also in the trailer, we got to hear more from Luigi as Bowser actually captures Luigi, and he tortures him by pulling off one strand of hair from his mustache, which is kind of funny.
Oh, so cruel, Dan. So cruel. How can they do that?
And if you slow up the trailer, if you slow down the trailer a little bit, you could see Mario and Luigi in like the real world, because they they're plumbers, I guess, and they're trying, I guess, but they're plumbers by trade, and
very much
they have like an actual sink that they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they are from Brooklyn. They are Brooklyn plumbers. So we're going to get to see New York City in the Mario movie. I'm very excited for that.
Well, as a side note, it has nothing to do with video games, because I gotta inject just a little bit of wrestling in the podcast. Just found out I was watching an interview with Bret Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart.
That's right.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it was the last time WWE was at the Barclays Center, and they were doing an interview with him outside. One of the YouTubers was doing an interview with him, and he said, New York has always been a second home to me because my mother was born in Brooklyn. So Bret Hart's his mother was a Brooklynite early on. So there you go, another person from Brooklyn.
Hey, all right, it all comes full circle.
Very
nice.
All comes full circle. But I'm trying to. I will say I have a lot of questions. Right, we got the Tanuki suit.
Sure.
In the trailer,
sure.
Princess Peach touches the power flower and she could throw fireballs. But my question is, Mario was going through what it looks like an oxtable. I can never say that word. It's like 3 words I can never say. But he was going through the course.
Obstacle course, right?
Yes, I can never say that. I can never say it's 3 words that I can never say, and that's one of them.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you the other 2 words, but I can't say them.
That's the conundrum. That's the catch-22.
Yeah, but it looked like regular. It looks like regular Mario levels, and it's like, well, why is he doing that? Right?
Oh.
Like he's like jumping over the blocks, and he gets hit, right? And he falls down. So it's like he's running across, and he gets hit with a fish in the face, and the fish is stuck in his face. It's like, why?
Oh yeah, the little cheeps.
Yeah. It's like, well, what's happening here? Is he's like practicing for his big showdown with Bowser or Donkey Kong? Because it looks like him and Donkey Kong are pitted against each other.
Yeah, they got some weird gladiatorial combat thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to see a herd of Yoshis running in the wild, which is kind of weird because are they going to Dinosaur Land? Because Yoshi is from Dinosaur Land, not the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's right. Well, I think that is one of the 6 lands that they have on the map. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of other Easter eggs that we don't even know about yet. Little things they're putting in the game for the fans. So I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it. It's got Illumination Studio behind it. It's been 27 years since the original Mario Brothers movie came out with Mario and Luigi Mario. That terrible train wreck, which I still haven't seen.
Then how'd you know it was a train wreck, Dave?
Well, I don't know, Dan. Is it the best movie of all time? Is it on the AFI 100? Did it win an Oscar?
It should have.
Well, it got snubbed that year, I guess. I'm sure, I don't know, The Piano or Dances with Wolves or something beat it out.
Mario movie over Dances with Wolves any day.
All right. Kevin Costner's got some words for you.
So, listen, I'm excited about the movie. I'll be honest.
It's going to be good.
I could do one more trailer, but that's it. Like, I just want the movie. I'm ready for it, and it's coming out next year.
It should coincide with the opening of Super Mario World in Universal?
I don't know. Well, it's coming out in April.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know when they're going to open up.
I think it may be right around that time, maybe a few months later. But it's I believe they're on target for 2023, opening up the theme park. So we'll see.
I know. I'm glad they call it Super Mario World and not Super Mario Brothers 3 World, because that
wouldn't make any sense. That wouldn't make any sense, Dan. It just doesn't.
They named it after the best video game of all time, Super Mario World.
This guy.
I'm just saying.
This guy. You're just making up ways to throw digs. I don't need. All right, I don't even need the gymnastics you're going through here. You deserve a gold medal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, not everything is good in Nintendo Land, right? It's good when it's world. It's not good when it's land. I mean, they got some issues. Pokemon, the new Pokemon games have a lot.
Oh God.
They have some issues, and people are up in arms over it. Right? It's funny. Older people, older Pokemon fans are up in arms, but kids don't care. They love it. They don't care that it doesn't look pristine and graphically impressive. Like, they don't care as long as it's playable. Kids love it. So
I mean, I haven't played it, but I thought there was some like really weird bugs in there. Maybe they're just visual glitches, but
yeah, kids don't care if Ash, his face is missing, it's just his hat. They can still throw the Pokeball. That's all that matters. But Nintendo actually, a little bit of controversy. Nintendo shut down Smash World Tour, the fighting game championships. Originally, the Smash World Tour championships have been going on forever, right? Recently, they tried to work out a deal. They can get the licensing for it, right? And Nintendo, just out of the blue, in the middle of negotiations, apparently just shut them down. They said, cease and desist. You cannot do this. There is another actual fighting game tournament that's bigger than that Nintendo is now going to be affiliated with, which there, speculation that company wanted to shut down the Smash World Tour fighting championships because obviously it's their, kind of competition, even though they're on a higher level than them. But it still feels shitty, right? It just feels shitty, even though they're in their right to do so. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, so
one thing I love about my Keurig brewer is the brewer.
I don't necessarily understand. I don't understand any of this, right? Legally, how does Nintendo have the right to say you can't have an event that has nothing to do with, like, you can't just have a bunch of people play some games on the TV and charge $5 for entry or whatever it is?
Because they're promoting. Okay, let me maybe put it to you this way. Like, I understand it, and they've let it go for so long, right? And I think that's where if they are going to try to take legal action, which I can't imagine they will, because Nintendo can drag it out for decades.
Oh yeah, Nintendo would wipe the floor with them, yeah.
Right, but I guess their defense would be like, we've been doing it for so long, and you haven't said anything before. I mean, we were just in negotiations.
What's the issue now? Yeah.
Right? Panda. I couldn't think of the other.
Panda Global was the other.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the other one. It was right there on my tongue. I couldn't say it.
Which there's some accusations thrown at them saying that they kind of muddied the waters and made this happen. They kind of stirred things up.
Yeah, they deny it, obviously, but
well, of course.
I would come to think maybe it's true that because they want to partner with Nintendo. But
of course,
I would say this: if they had like the Dave Rotino World Championships, right, where we're advertising Dave's face, right, everywhere, and we're charging people to come in to see people play the Dave Rotino World Championship.
I would be over the moon about it.
Yeah, but you're also not getting paid. Because they're using your likeness, something that you own. And
hold on. If I made a video game with my face in it, and somebody wants to buy a copy of that thing and do whatever they want with it, let them do whatever they want with it, right?
Well, that's
if they're making a new property based off my IP, like if they go and say, "Hey, they're gonna make a Smash Fighters clone with all the Smash Fighters," and put it out there and charge $60 for it, right? With some improvements and enhancements. Yeah, then we'll go ahead and go to war. But they're having a tournament, right? And Nintendo was getting good press for this, right? Because it's like, it's in the zeitgeist. They're getting people interested, right? They're making this game competitive, right? They're keeping the scene alive. Like, that's part of the reason why they kept putting out all this, like, DLC, right? Because, like, they have all these tournaments and fans are engaged in it. So they know that if they put DLC out, they know the fans are going to buy it. It's going to be great. It's going to improve the kind of community, right? People, and they're going to get new people involved in it. They're going to buy copies of the game for $60. Like, I see it as a win-win. It's like free publicity, right?
Well,
like
it's free publicity until you want to put out your own tournament.
Well, but they don't.
And
though.
then you want people to do. I mean, they were in Evo. Now that Sony owns it, they're not.
Yeah.
They pulled out of Evo, because if that's the case, I could just say, why didn't they just keep it in Evo? They took it out of Evo. I think they want to do something on their own, to be honest.
Right.
And they want to shut down anybody else doing any type of tournaments. They are completely in the right to do so. It just doesn't feel just
legally.
Yeah. They have the right to do it. It just doesn't feel right because
no, it's shitty.
It doesn't feel right. But I guess the bigger it gets, somebody probably said, "Hey, you said nothing because this was nothing, but it got so big now. You could be reaping the benefits from it."
And thanks to the company that was doing these tournaments for so long, right? They helped build up the competitive scene, as well as Evo and the other fighting game tournaments and all that. But so like on like the one hand is like, yeah, Nintendo made the game, but then there was some work on both ends.
I don't know. Somebody's this is not an original comment. Somebody said this. I got this on somebody's podcast on YouTube. Or maybe somebody's YouTube channel. Somebody said Nintendo may be family friendly making games, but they are cutthroat in business.
Oh, you were they protect their IP like it's their own child. It's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
So, no, 100%. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's shift gears and talk about Sony.
Oh, please. I can't. It's making me mad. Nintendo's making me mad.
Nintendo always makes people mad.
Uh-huh.
Sony is now attending CES. That's coming up next month in January.
Okay.
We tend to forget about CES nowadays, now that we have E3, because all the video games used to be shown at CES early on.
It was the electronic show for a long time.
So you would after your Christmas gifts and all that stuff, you get to see what's coming out next year, really early, right?
Yep.
In January. So they shifted to E3 having their own event, but Sony still shows up because Sony is not a video game company. They are an electronic company, right? So they do have, at these shows, they do have like TVs and other products that they do show off. Historically, in the last 2-3 years, especially after they stopped doing that PlayStation experience, I think it was like 2019, 2018, they would just sort of mention something about PlayStation, right? We were so hungry for PS5 stuff that they showed us the logo. We went crazy, right? I think we're going to go PSVR 2 heavy at the show, and that would be the only thing for PlayStation that we'll really hear about.
I think you're right. I think you're right,
because this would be the place to do VR, right?
For sure.
This would be
for sure. Pair it with the new Sony Bravia TV or whatever their current line is, right? Have that with the VR headset with like a PS5. Yeah. Get people invested in the experience. Sure.
PS5 the PSVR 2 is coming out in February or March. It's coming out soon.
Early next year.
Coming out early next year.
Next year. Yeah.
So I think CES is the place where they will show it. So I think this would be heavy. But shifting gears to the actual PlayStation console, I will say I'm so happy Sony's finally done this. The PS Store finally has dedicated demo section on the PS5. I think Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo do a terrible job of showing you, hey, these are all the demos you can download.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially on the Switch, right?
100%.
Especially on a Switch. Like, it should be a day. I shouldn't have to search. I remember I was on a Switch maybe like a month ago, and I was like, oh, what was that demo I wanted to download? Oh, my God. And I'm like looking, and I'm like trying to find all the demos, and I couldn't find a demo section. They only show you it when you go to the specific game, right? If it's a new release or you're going through categories or whatever, they'll say, oh, hey, you can download a demo. No, there is a section where you could go, but you have to find it.
Oh, they have to do a better job of servicing it. And it's a win-win because the demos are there to entice you to buy the full version of it, right? If you're on the fence about spending $60 physically or digitally, play the demo. And then you'll buy it because you'll get hooked on it, right? Or you won't buy it, but there's a good chance you weren't going to spend $60 on it because you haven't played it yet. So, you're more likely to buy it after you play it and you like it, right? So why not, have an hour, 2-hour demo, or whatever it is, and go, oh yeah, no, I'm going to get this game now. It translates into money for the company. Yeah, everyone's got to have it front and center. Game demos, right? Have a tab, a button, a slide, a whatever, a blade, like in the old 360 days. That's just like demos. You can just go in there.
You took it back.
I know. Actually, the 360 was actually really good about that. They had their little online download thing.
I remember the demo section. Yeah.
Yeah. And they fell by the wayside. So I mean, everyone's to blame. Everyone's to blame. Ugh.
So, all right. So, I love talking about these IGN sort of like polls or list that they have, and they did recently. They did like I guess it was like a fan choice.
Voter, fan.
Voter. There we go. Voter choice. It was like the best PlayStation character face off. And honestly, when I first saw this, I knew who would be the winner. It's just because it's recent and it's in everybody's mind, it's in the zeitgeist. And Kratos, he won with 89.4% of the votes. Kratos was number one. Like I don't think there was any. If I told you before this, who do you think would win? I think Kratos. You would say Kratos, right? Or at least Kratos would be in the top 3. But I think it's interesting. I'm going beyond Kratos right now because he's the winner, no brainer. So number 2 was Nathan Drake, but number 3 was Joel.
Sure.
From The Last of Us.
Sure.
Number 4 was Solid Snake, and number 5 was Spider-Man Peter Parker from the Spider-Man games.
Now this is a big list. They go deep. You're gonna get your heads. Yeah, you're gonna get your Cloud Stripes, your Kratoses. You're gonna get your Lara Crofts and all that. But I mean, you got Carl C.J. Johnson from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I mean, I guess. I mean, that was a cross-platform game, but okay. You got Albert Wesker from Resident Evil, which are not too crazy. You got Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, Alucard from Symphony of the Night. I mean,
I know, but you got Fat Princess.
Yeah, it goes real deep. You go way back to Fat Princess. Yeah. You
got Lammy from Unjammin' Lammy.
Sure, you got Pepsi Man, number 99, Pepsi Man coming in there. I mean, all right. You get Rikamaru from Tenchu, like the old PlayStation 1 Tenchu. It's freaking wild.
Yeah, I'm sure when people were voting, they probably said, a lot of the younger people are like, who the fuck I have for these characters?
You got Mark Hamill from The Getaway, right? The London version of Grand Theft Auto, even though there was a London expansion for the first one. But it's actually a very underrated game. The Getaway was pretty good.
So, who would you think? I'll take it at a I'm gonna go sort of like a different spin on it. Who would you think is, if Kratos is the best character as of right now, right? The best character, Sony character. Who do you think is like the most underrated character in Sony history?
Polygon Man. The original Sony mascot, Polygon Man. Come on.
I would say Jack.
No. No. To be fair, Jack is a much better answer than my answer. Jack. I mean, I think part of that reason is because there hasn't been a Jack and Daxter game in like ages.
Yeah,
I think the last one we got was like the compilation on PS3. Is that right? There's no PS4 ones.
No, you're correct.
Yeah, and it's a Naughty Dog franchise, right? So they could bring it back. They still own the rights to Jack and Daxter.
I'm sure the developers. I'm sure all of the people who developed Jack and Daxter don't work there.
I mean, maybe, but that doesn't matter. I mean, like, the people that worked on the original Halo, most of them aren't with the company anymore. So
here, this is for best PlayStation characters, right?
Yeah.
And I love it. I love this list. You know why? Only on a list like this will you get Juliana Blake, who is now really, I guess, an Xbox character because Deathloop.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
exclusivity is over.
Well, half of these are cross-platform at this point, but yeah. That's right. Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know, but Deathloop,
was,
Deathloop. I can't imagine Deathloop 2 coming out in PS5 or PS6.
Right.
All right. Deathloop 2 exclusive to Xbox, right? And Juliana Blake would be an Xbox character now.
She's a great villain, by the way. Like, yeah, it's good stuff.
She is.
Good stuff.
So, all right. Let's end this with one of the weirdest stories I've seen in a while. And somebody it's so weird that you talk about. Somebody has an Xbox Series X console, and if you look in the back in the vent part, there was a spider that made a spider web and made the Series X its home.
Sure.
Which is weird because it's like a spider's really only going to make a nest or a web where they can actually find, insects to eat, right? Like, I mean,
sure.
Do you have this?
There may be some other insects hiding inside of there that the spider's like, this is a good spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's weird.
The other thing too that gets me is like, isn't there like, there's moving fans in there, right? Wouldn't that disrupt the spider web?
Well, that may bring up more other questions like, do you actually use your Series X? How often do you use it?
Yeah, well, that's true. He may not necessarily get the time that he wants with it. Oh, that's fair. Oof. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I think we talked a couple months ago about someone got an Xbox that had bugs in it or whatever, whether like bed bugs or something.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. Oh, yeah. I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather the spider. That just the thought. The
spider's not that bad, right? Spiders, they're not going to harm you. They just set up a web, lay some eggs. It's all good. Usually pretty harmless for what it is. But yeah. Damn. So
all right, that's it. Dave, you got any good weekend plans?
I am going home to see the family again, so that'll be kind of nice. It's holiday season and all that, so I'm going to be doing that. Probably going to play some Tactics Ogre on the way home, which will be good. Get some gaming on the train out to Long Island. So, how about you? What do you got going on?
Well, I have to take a trip to Atlantic City for work in the middle of next week, so I have to make arrangements. I have to make arrangements, hotel and transportation. But I will
staying at the Tropicana. Where are you staying? The Sands? What? Claridge? Where are you going? Harris? Harris?
No, nice? it's a really nice. Apparently it's a really nice hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's pricey, but what do I care? I'm gonna get my money back from my company.
Are you staying in it? You staying in one of the casinos or no?
No, it's a hotel. I'm staying in a hotel.
Okay. All right.
Nice hotel.
Nice.
I will be mapping out where all the GameStops are.
You make a little side trip. I get you.
Make a little side trip. There's a GameStop. I did map out. There's a GameStop not too far from where I'll be, and if I take the train, I have to go through Philadelphia, and there's like a 30-minute layover. I could take a later train and go to Philly and check out some video game stores in Philly while I'm there. Or maybe I'll do that on the way back. I'll do that on the way back. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the Game Awards because I'm gonna be in. I don't know if I can watch it live because I'm gonna be working because I'm gonna be in Atlantic City. So I hopefully I get a chance to go back to the hotel and watch it live.
Nice.
But there is some bad news. There will not be. Ed Boon did say there will not be another Realm game announced or revealed at the Game Awards this year.
Oh,
so people were hoping to see the next Mortal Kombat game or the next Injustice game or anything else that they're working on, and he sort of squashed that and said, "No, we're not going to be at the Game Awards. Sorry, we have nothing to show."
He may just be pulling a magic trick on you. He'd be like, we're not going to show you anything, and then boom, Mortal Kombat 12.
Yeah, could. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's possible. It's possible. But I didn't even realize people were anticipating something. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, all the prediction shows. We haven't done any. We haven't done any predictions, but we will. You know, sort of the next episode we'll cover strictly sort of the Game Awards. But people have been predicting like we gotta see something from NetherRealm. Either we're gonna see Injustice 3 or Mortal Kombat 12, and that sort of. I'm not gonna say it was trending online, but people sort of that picked up a little bit of steam, and Ed Boon sort of I guess wanted to shut that down.
Yeah, all right. Well, on that note, that is episode 338 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
Keep gaming.